Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into the sources, pull out the key insights, and bring you the stories that matter.
That's right.
And today, we're looking at someone truly monumental in music, a real giant.
Mm-hmm.
He was often just called the genius. We're talking, of course, about Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, yeah.
In his story, it's not just about the hits, is it? It's this incredible journey of, well, resilience, overcoming so much.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we're really aiming to unpack the sources we've got, go beyond just, the dates and facts.
Okay.
We want to pull out those insights that show not just what he did, the hits, the awards, mixing genres, but really how his unique life experiences shaped him.
Right, how the life fed the art.
Exactly. How those challenges fueled that revolutionary sound,
Yeah.
connecting the man's life, which was pretty tumultuous, to the amazing music he made.
So looking at the sources, the story kind of unfolds chronologically. Makes sense. Let's start at the beginning. His early life. Born Ray Charles Robinson, September 23rd, 1930. Albany, Georgia. But he grew up mostly in Greenville, Florida, right? And in pretty extreme poverty.
Yeah, deep poverty.
Right.
His father, Bailey Robinson, he left the family early on.
Mm.
So his mother, Aretha Williams, she really struggled to raise him and his younger brother, George. It was a tough start, a really tough start.
And then on top of the poverty came just unimaginable tragedy.
It really did. The sources point to something incredibly traumatic when he was just 5 years old.
Yeah.
He actually witnessed his younger brother, George, drown in a wash tub. Just devastating. Something that apparently stayed with him his whole life.
Oh my God, at 5. And then, almost concurrently, he starts losing his sight.
Exactly. Around the same age, glaucoma sets in. It was progressive, so not overnight, but by the time he was 7 years old, he was completely blind.
7. Facing blindness after already experiencing that kind of loss, it's hard to even comprehend.
It really is.
How do the sources talk about that? Did losing his sight make sound, I don't know, more intense, his main way of connecting?
That's a really key point. Think about it, losing your sight at that age. Sound becomes everything.
Right.
It wasn't just hearing better for him. The sources suggest it was like a deeper connection, an internal ear that became incredibly sharp. He started hearing nuances, textures, rhythms in a way most people don't. It was almost like he built his whole world, his whole mental map through sound.
So blindness wasn't just a challenge, it was maybe, paradoxically, part of what shaped his unique musical perception.
You could definitely argue that. It focused him intensely on the sonic world, made it his primary reality.
Okay, so he's navigating this incredibly difficult childhood, but then comes a period of real development. He goes to the Florida School for the Deaf and the Blind in St. Augustine.
Right, from about age 7 to 15. And this place was absolutely crucial, foundational.
How so?
This is where he got the tools. He learned to read, write, and arrange music in Braille.
Yeah.
Think about that, Braille music notation.
Wow, that's complex.
Incredibly, it gave him a level of musical literacy, independence. It was powerful. He wasn't just learning to play songs. He was learning the language of music, how to build it, how to shape it.
And he learned more than just piano, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Piano, organ, sure. But also saxophone, clarinet, trumpet. He seemed to just soak it all up.
Like a sponge. Was there anything he couldn't play?
Huh. Seems like he tried everything. The sources suggest he saw each instrument as a different voice, adding color to his internal soundscape.
That makes sense. That understanding would feed into his arranging later on.
Absolutely. But then tragedy strikes again. In 1945, his mother dies.
Oh, no. She was his rock, wasn't she?
She really was. And he's only 15. He has to leave the school. He's an orphan, blind, and suddenly has to make his own way in the world as a musician.
15, thrown into the deep end, doesn't even cover it.
Not at all. This is pure survival now, playing music to eat.
What were those immediate years like? Just trying to survive, gigging around must have been incredibly tough.
Unimaginably tough. Navigating a sighted world, dealing with poverty, probably exploitation. But it forged something in him.
Resilience again.
Definitely. And resourcefulness.
Yeah.
He had to learn fast. How to read crowds, how to lead a band, how to project confidence. Even when maybe he didn't feel it, he started turning that formal training into something that connected with people.
So he's out there honing his craft the hard way, and then he makes a big move.
Yeah, in 1947, he heads northwest. to Seattle.
Seattle, why Seattle?
It had a pretty vibrant jazz and blues scene at the time, a good place to land, maybe get noticed. And he did. He formed his first group there, the McSun Trio.
McSun Trio, okay. And started recording soon after.
Yep, first recordings in 1949.
Yeah.
And he actually had an early hit on the R&B charts, Confession Blues.
Really? So success came relatively quickly.
A taste of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But his sound back then, you could really hear his influences. People like Nat King Cole, Charles Brown, very smooth, polished piano and vocals.
Okay, so mimicking the stars of the day initially?
To an extent, yeah, learning the ropes. But the key thing the sources highlight is that he didn't stay there long. He wasn't just an imitator.
Right. He started experimenting.
Exactly. He started pulling in other sounds, things he grew up with.
Like gospel.
Oh, absolutely. The feeling, the fervor, the call and response. He knew that music deep in his bones. And he started mixing that with the blues, the raw emotion of the blues.
And the jazz sophistication he'd been playing.
Right. He started weaving it all together. Gospel, blues, jazz. At a time when those genres were pretty separate, racially and stylistically.
That sounds radical for the time.
He's radical, deliberately blurring those lines. He realized the feeling was universal, no matter the label. And that unique mix, that was the beginning of something totally new.
And that something new essentially became soul music, right? The 1950s is when he really breaks through as a pioneer.
Absolutely. He's basically inventing a genre,
Yeah.
taking that sacred gospel intensity and applying it to secular themes. Love, loss, joy. It was electrifying.
And the song that really marks that transition.
You got to point to 1954, I Got a Woman. That's often called the first true soul record. You hear the gospel chords, the passionate singing, but it's a love song. It blew people away.
And that opened the floodgates.
Pretty much. The hits just rolled in through the 50s and 60s. When I say in 59, that electric piano, unforgettable.
Oh, yeah.
Then Georgia on My Mind in 1960, which, as you mentioned, became the state song eventually.
Amazing.
Hit the Road Jack in 61. Everyone knows that one. Unchain My Heart, same year. Just hit after hit, defining this new sound.
An incredible run. But then he did something even more boundary pushing, didn't he? The country album.
Ah, yes. 1962. Modern sounds in country and Western music. This was, whoa. Revolutionary doesn't even quite cover it.
Why was it so revolutionary? Crossing genres wasn't entirely new, was it?
Not entirely, but the way he did it and who was doing it. A black R&B star tackling the heart of country music, which was seen as very white, very segregated territory that was audacious.
And risky.
Commercially risky, definitely.
Yeah.
Hugely.
Mm-hmm.
But Ray's attitude was always, good music is good music. He didn't just cover those country songs. He reimagined them.
How? What did he bring to them?
He brought Ray Charles. His soulful, gospel-tinged vocals, sophisticated jazz arrangements, strings, big band sounds, but applied to these country standards. He found the universal emotion in them.
So he wasn't trying to be country, he was making the songs his own.
Precisely. He sang them with such conviction, such heart. He tapped into the pain, the love, the struggle that was already there, but filtered it through his unique sensibility.
And how was that received?
It was a massive, massive success.
Yeah.
Topped the pop charts, not just country. Sold incredibly well. Critics raved.
Wow.
It blew the doors open. It showed everyone that these genre labels were kind of meaningless when you had artistry like his. It hugely expanded his audience globally and, subtly pushed against some social barriers too.
Just proves his point about good music. Incredible vision.
Mm-hmm.
But as the sources make clear, while his career is hitting these incredible highs, his personal life, it was a lot more complicated. There were some deep struggles behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's often the case, isn't it? The public genius and the private battles. The sources are pretty open about his long struggle with heroin addiction.
For how long?
Nearly 2 decades. A really long, hard fight. But he did overcome it. He got clean in the mid-1960s, which was a huge personal victory.
That's amazing he could function at such a high level while battling that.
Speaks to his strength, maybe his compartmentalization too. And then there was his complicated personal life, relationships.
Right. He fathered quite a few children, didn't it?
12 children, yeah, with
Yeah.
10 different women. So definitely a life lived large, full of complexities, contradictions even.
Yet, despite the addiction, the complexities, his public image remained largely beloved, didn't it? How did he maintain that connection with audiences? Was it just the power of the music or something else?
It was partly the music, for sure. It spoke so directly. But he also had this incredible charisma. On stage, he was just captivating.
Yeah.
Yeah, sources talk about his presence, that mix of confidence, soulfulness, even a kind of vulnerability sometimes. When he's saying you believed him.
Even the head sway, the whole physical immersion in the music.
Exactly. He drew you in. It felt authentic. People connected with the feeling, the resilience you could sense, even if they didn't know the details of his struggles.
Yeah.
He just seemed real.
And that connection, that artistry, it was certainly recognized. The awards and accolades just piled up.
Oh, absolutely. And deservedly so. He got, what, 12 Grammys throughout his career?
Including a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Right. That says a lot. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '86, a foundational figure. Then you've got the National Medal of Arts in '93, the Polar Music Prize in '98, which is like the Nobel Prize for music.
Wow.
And Rolling Stone magazine ranked him super high on both their greatest artists and greatest singers lists. His peers, critics, audiences, everyone knew he was special.
And he didn't just rest on those laurels. He kept working, kept performing right into his later years.
He really did. Performed and recorded pretty consistently until his health started to fail in the early 2000s. It felt like music was just his lifeblood.
Yeah.
His final album, Genius Loves Company, came out in 2004. And what an album to go out on.
That was the duets album, right?
Yeah, incredible lineup. Norah Jones, Elton John, Willie Nelson, B.B. King. Just a who's who paying tribute by singing with him.
Shows the respect he commanded across generations.
Totally. Sadly, he passed away before it was fully released and celebrated. June 10, 2004. He was 73. Complications from liver disease.
A huge loss. But that final album, it did get its due, didn't it?
Oh, did it ever.
Yeah.
Posthumously, Genius Loves Company won 8 Grammy Awards. 8,
Mm.
including Album of the Year.
Incredible. A final, massive statement.
A beautiful, powerful coda to an unparalleled career. Really cemented his legacy right at the end.
And that legacy, his influence, it's hard to overstate, isn't it? He really did change the sound of American music.
Fundamentally, you hear Ray Charles's DNA in so much music that came after. Soul, rock, R&B, even country and pop.
Name some names. Who points to him?
Oh, legions. Stevie Wonder, obviously.
Yeah.
Billy Joel. Van Morrison. Joe Cocker. So many artists learned from his phrasing, his blending of styles, his emotional honesty. He showed it was possible.
And his story reached even wider with the movie, right?
Yeah, the 2004 film with Jamie Foxx. Fantastic movie.
Fox won the Oscar, right?
He did. Best actor.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing portrayal. It really brought Ray's story, the triumphs, the struggles, the genius, to a whole new audience. Cemented him in popular culture beyond just the
The
music.
true icon. Resilience, creativity, genius.
All of it. He remains this enduring symbol. So wrapping up our deep dive here, we've journeyed through this incredible life, from that tough childhood and blindness, through forging soul music, crossing genres, battling demons, and leaving this immense legacy. Ray Charles, the genius. His story is just a profound example of human spirit, talent, and how music can change the world.
Absolutely. And we hope, as you listened, you maybe had some of those aha moments, seeing how his struggles weren't just obstacles, but maybe part of the fuel for his art, how his unique way of perceiving the world, literally through sound, allowed him to reshape music for everyone. It's pretty inspiring when you think about it.
He really is. And it leaves us with a final thought, something for you to maybe chew on.
Huh.
What does Ray Charles's incredible story really tell us about genius itself? Specifically, how can profound personal challenges, things like blindness, trauma, addiction, when they're met with this fierce passion and a totally unique perspective, how can those very things become the source, the wellspring of groundbreaking art and a legacy that lasts long after they're gone?